Voice of Freedom on Freedom 107. Good morning, Jeff Aiken along with you. This is the Wednesday edition of the Voice of Freedom. Joining me in the studio is Natalie Nichols, County Clerk of Bowie County. Good morning, ma'am, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Yesterday we talked about the proposed policy for public comments for the Bowie County Commissioners Court. Judge Sterling Lacey was in talking about that, though a lot of questions, and still a lot of questions, actually, not a lot of answers. Hopefully you can provide some answers for us. There is a particular section of this thing that really puzzles me. All right, currently you, as the county clerk, you are recording these meetings and putting them on the internet, correct?
Yes. I record them and put them on my own website that I purchased with my own money as a service to my constituents.
Using your own equipment?
Using my own equipment that I'm loaning to my office.
Okay. Now, according to the new policy that will be voted on in a couple of weeks here at the next County Commissioners Court meeting, they're wanting the commissioners to vote by a majority of who that they want to record the meetings and put them on the internet. That, to me, seems like that falls under your office. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know what their mindset was when they were going into it, but I tend to be governed by what the code actually says, and Section 81.003, which specifies that the clerk is the person who shall record the court's authorized proceedings, and this may be in a paper or electronic format, and I do choose to do that in both, and I think that that serves it's a great service to the people, and I do not feel that the Commissioners Court has the authority to do what they are proposing to do in this particular line item.
Now, the county legal advisor, Carol Dobby, was on this particular committee along with Pat McCoy and Mr. Blackburn, two commissioners. Now, how could they come up with something that is not in the code?
You should probably ask them. People could have probably asked them if they had been made aware that those were open meetings.
That's true. I don't remember that. I don't remember that happening. I don't remember receiving anything as a member of the media. I didn't receive anything about that. No,
people are not made aware. But when more than one person from the Commissioners Court is on a subcommittee that has the ability to act as something that would put forth a recommendation and could possibly be something that the Commissioners Court rubber stamps, that in and of itself becomes an open meeting.
Okay. Now, when we get back to the particular policy here, it looks like to me that they are trying to say that they no longer want the county clerk or the county clerk's office to record those meetings. How did they come up with that? If they're going by the Texas Association of Counties recommendations, which they did about 80, according to the judge, about 80% of the time there on that policy proposal, how is it that they would leave that out? And if so, what did they replace it with, or how did that work exactly, you think?
Well, there is a template, which is basically just if you don't have a clue what you're doing and you want to put some guidelines out, you can go by this. This is not a standard. This is not the law. This is just something you could use. And it has pretty much verbatim what they used. However, Section 8 of that proposed guideline dealt with security.
Okay.
Our main issue in Bowie County has been courthouse security. Mm-hmm. This portion designated the sheriff or his deputy to serve as the bailiff at the Commissioners Court meetings for our security. Mm-hmm. Our commissioners who were on this particular committee chose to totally delete that portion of this template that they thought was so great and replace that with something trying to usurp the county clerk's authority. I have no idea why.
I was just about to ask, do you have any clue about this? Because to me, at a time that we're facing right now, and even just out of just good sense, you would think that you would want security within the commissioner's courtroom, one would think.
Absolutely. You would ask, why do you need rules and guidelines to speak in front of the Commissioners Court? It's a public meeting, and you would think that as a member of the public, just a citizen, you'd be able to stand up and speak. But the rules and guidelines are there as just something to put forth the decorum and the way that people behave in that public setting, kind of as a security measure. And it just stands to reason that you would have actual physical security present at those meetings. Sometimes we have the sheriff testifying on any given item, but sometimes we don't. And there could oftentimes there could be an angry citizen come in or anyone come in and do some damage.
Well, I do know that in the past, the commissioners have requested the sheriff to be there at different meetings. I know there were several under the previous administration that they asked because of certain folks attending, including myself. And they wanted the sheriff there just in case, as if anything was going to go down. But anyway, I find it very puzzling why they would do that. Again, replacing the security issue with taking away an authority granted to the county clerk's office by the state of Texas.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess when I first read it, I thought maybe they're thinking they want to provide a great service to the citizens and they want professional quality video, which mine is not, and they wanted to have someone in addition to me do this. But that's not correct because the way that this is written, it says there shall be no microphones located on the bench in the Commissioners Court courtroom except those microphones used in the official videotaping and or recording of the Commissioners Court meetings. Mm-hmm. That means this person they're designating would be the only one authorized under their rules to place something there, not me. But I'm required to do so to perform my statutory duties.
Exactly.
So they do not have the authority to do this, and I've requested an AG's opinion.
You have requested an AG's opinion then on this deal?
Yes, I have. I've contacted my state rep.
Okay. Now, any time frame on this?
I just contacted him this evening.
Okay, excellent. All right, now, and speaking of the media, their proposal to not allow media recording devices on the bench is, in my opinion, ridiculous. Under the way that we work in the media, we have technology that is such to where we have basically what they call omnidirectional microphones, where it picks up everything in the room for the most part. And so if we place them on a table or someplace else, then we're in danger of hearing shuffling papers and things like that. And so, do the commissioners want us to basically put words in their mouth as we do our reporting, or do they want the actual verbiage from them? And so that's going to be a question that will have to be presented to them, because if I were them, I'd want the media to get it right when we're reporting the stories.
Exactly. I mean, I've personally been there when a member of the TV press has asked to please place his microphone there, and I have heard certain commissioners object highly to that. And so I gather that along with my county clerk microphones are where this is stemming from. But I think that you always err on the side of public information, and you do whatever you can to go out of your way to make sure that the public gets an accurate picture of what went on.
Sure. All right. Now, what is a course of action if someone who is listening to this is a resident of Bowie County? They feel as though this proposed policy is indeed unfair to several folks, not just the media, but also to your office and even people trying to speak, because everything from the casual business attire all the way to 3 minutes, which both of those are not proposed by the TAC. TAC says they recommend 5 minutes to speak, and TAC says proper clothing, not business attire, casual business attire. What recourse does the public have in this situation? What can the average person who is just trying to make a buck in Bowie County, what can they do about this?
Well, I guess that the politically correct answer is that you can contact your commissioners and voice your opinions to them. But the way that this proposed guideline is written, it says adopted by the unanimous vote of the Bowie County Commissioners Court. So I don't know that you're actually going to change anyone's opinion.
So what are you reading there again?
I'm reading the last page, which is not signed, so it hasn't, in fact, been adopted. But this is what was presented in Commissioners Court. It says, adopted by the unanimous vote of the Bowie County Commissioners Court, and then you fill in the date that it was adopted.
How could there be a unanimous vote if it wasn't voted on, because it was tabled at the meeting, correct?
It was tabled at the meeting. And I really don't feel that it would have been tabled, and I know that no one was asking any questions until I brought up the fact that none of the public had a chance to read this. And I do want to say a huge thank you to Commissioner Addington for standing up for the people and asking that this be tabled when he realized that the people had not seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, switching gears very quickly before I let you go. Talk about your staff, talk about your office and the great strides you have made, because I know your staff. I've had interactions with your staff, and I have to say that the culture of the courthouse, in particular your office, has really changed.
Well, I'm really proud of my staff, and in the past they hadn't been certified in any special item. They hadn't had any training other than just on-the-job training. And we had someone from the Attorney General's office come in the other day and train us on some of the different vital statistics items, and we all will be getting certificates. We had 3 hours of training, so each of these ladies will will be able to do an acknowledgement of paternity, which is something that in the past they would have had to send you to Texarkana or elsewhere to do. And they were pretty proud of that. So we did lunch on me, and we had a good time. And
Sure.
we're continuing to do as much training as we can.
Excellent. What can we expect out of your office here in the next few months, even the next couple of years?
Right now, I'm shopping around for vendors to finally get our records online. I don't want to just take the first Joe Blow that offers me a deal. I want to find the best value for our buck and get the best service that we can. That's my main focus right now, is getting the best system that we can get in there.
Excellent. Bowie County Clerk Natalie Nichols, thank you, ma'am, for doing what you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.